The irony is it's another lie. She puts things out there that she knows. I told her that people spy, or not spy, but people send me things that are observing her and go, what the hell's wrong with her? Doesn't matter to her. Nothing matters. Anything that's said from any outside source, nothing gets through to this absolutely heartless, with this hippie person outside. Heartless, cruel, completely cut off person. And again, I'll say it a million times, it's the saddest thing I've ever seen. And of course, no one in her inner circle won't do anything because she lies to them about the scenarios. They would probably dislike me, and they have cut me off, and so on. But I wish they'd talk to the children. They are really clear. Even though they're young, they're very clear, even on mommy's lies and what she did and how she just blew them apart, how she moved into a house and put everything into the house and was planning to leave and called it an escape and all this stuff. They've watched the violence. They've witnessed all of this. They witnessed the one who really is the only one who's abusive is the female. It's tough. It's tough for people to get. I've been told many times, I've been around the world. I have a very fortunate life. I'm really incredible, even though it's a lot of difficulties starting from the get-go. And I'm able to observe the world and write about it and succeed in the writing and so forth. But I've never seen anything like this. I've seen the cults, and my dad had his own cult and so on. But this is just different. Anyway, I'm going to read what she wrote here on her Facebook page, which is constantly conning people, trying to get people to build wealth, of which, hey, folks, if she's building wealth, then she owes me support, because the person who makes the more money pays the support, which would be me. I still pay her support. I pay child support. I pay alimony, all that stuff. She already bilked me for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, if not, oh God, I just worked my whole life, and I worked on that marriage, and then it just goes to show you just don't know anyone. You could be sleeping with the devil. I don't know. So she says, someone accused me of being in a cult, she writes. Now, we know that's me because I've said it many times. Or, well, if that's true, this is my cult leader. Mr. Blank is a visionary who lives in Okinawa and built $1 billion company, stands for physical health, financial health. So she goes on and on about this. And it's a pitch. That's the thing, is she and the idol, they're pitching all the time to follow them. But there's nothing to follow except for your excitement, your phony excitement over these connections and tribes and everything they call it. That's what a cult is. So maybe this person who has this multi-level marketing business that they are involved with, right? Yeah, great intentions. And we are celebrating island right now. No man is an island. We grow through partnerships, relationships, and community. Yeah, you grow through partnerships. And you go through the difficult times in partnerships. We're in partnership with your children and your husband, and that's your partnership, not strangers. And I remember watching this happen with other people in my family, where strangers or outside sources are more important than the inside. And I spent a life wanting what we had, just longing for a family. And here we go. The kids are just beautiful and funny and fun, and then just kaboom, big giant dynamite. So she's lying here because she knows that I'm not saying this is the call. I never even heard of this group. It's another business of hers, which is probably the 7th one she's had with this cult leader. So if you want to argue with me and get mad at me because I call it a cult, well, it is a cult. I've just done the research. I've talked to someone from the Vow whose daughter was in the cult, NXIVM. I've talked to all of the cult people. I talked to my friend Adam, whose sister, Lori Vallow, is in a cult. A cult can be one person with just a few others. It's somebody who has that charismatic way about them. And this broke woman has that. She gets people to follow her. and they exchange on here with this, like, it's a disgusting love story when you've got this family who loves you and just wants you, and you just say, no, the hell with the family. I'm just going to selfishly go for someone that's going to appeal to my ego. And that's what cult leaders do. Their ego is being appealed to, but they know how to hold on to people. This is your warning sign. They know how to hold on to people because it's a transactional thing. They need one another to feed each other's egos. So they answer each other on here. And this is because we avoid pain at all costs, and it takes courage to be willing to look. And then Broke says, you nailed it on the head. 3 exclamation points. They're so filled with exclamation points. It's like a guy with a small penis, these two. They overcompensate. And most people are on to it. I don't think they're making any money. I know that she's not making any money, but they just act like they have it all together. They have all the answers. She talks about the reformed relationship with Broke's son. She's going to have to heal her relationship with her children. I can guarantee that because it's already happening. And maybe this is another effort to say to her family and friends, by the way, you might want to talk to her and get her priorities straight. You might want to research this woman Broke and figure it out. Who's pulling strings? She pulled strings on a woman who was vulnerable, midlife, hormones, tragedy from her past that she has not healed from, trauma. And she talks about this. So if you're talking about it here and you admit to it here, ex-wife Lotus, why would you not try to, for the children's sake, rehabilitate or go to an expert, be diagnosed, something besides going to Facebook and just going back and forth with this Broke woman, pontificating about feeling our emotions doesn't mean we lash out and throw it on others. That can cause harm. She writes this. It's exactly what she does. Feeling our emotions doesn't mean we wallow in them forever. Yeah, you've wallowed and been victim. We begin to see the gift in them. Well, what's the gift? What have we seen as the gift? Our family. I feel excitement for my upgrade. Where's the upgrade? We haven't seen any upgrade whatsoever. You're talking to strangers, trying to lure them into a business, and that is cult-like. A lot of multi-level marketing people, I do believe multi-level marketing, but there's so many that are in this wellness community with the same language, emotional alchemy and all this kind of stuff. And then Broke says, I love this photo, you and this business. That's what, so Broke, the mighty Broke has confirmed, I love this. We are wired to be together. And it's so much capital fun to dream with others. And then Lotus responds, it is so true. If you stopped working tomorrow, would you still get paid? If you died tomorrow, all of this stuff about business, creating freedom. I'm going to implore anyone who's having a difficult time in their relationship, don't do this to your family. Just abandon ship and put your power into others. Don't be led by someone who's a fraud. You don't think that they are. You go into denial. Do your best not to let it happen. I let it happen. I could have done a lot of other things. Well, one of the things that even she, in all of her text messages, I believe it's in the episodes, she has countless text messages about how generous, a good person, kind, great father. She says all these things and treats me like absolute dirt with complete disrespect, disdain, hatred, cruelness, running out of rooms when I'm trying to talk to her, getting neutral parties involved and running away from them, screaming, tantrums, freaking out, violence, punching me, hitting me, throwing a remote in my face. These are all the things that happen, charging me, ripping my clothes off, scratching me, clawing at me in front of the children. All of these things take place, pulling out a camera, threatening to call the police when I'm shining peace signs. This is off the top of my head. This is not normal behavior. But our country, our world somehow makes abnormal behavior normal. They fight for these people as they will fight against me and be angry at me for doing this, shouldn't do this to your children, and all that kind of stuff. I'll hear it. I know it because I already have heard it. I've reached out to people, and the feedback is either ignore me or just go along with her and just believe what her narratives are. No one digs any deeper than that. They just make the assumptions, oh, the big white successful guy with the big mouth and a following and all that kind of stuff. Oh, it's got to be him. And you have a voice and she doesn't. Yeah, I've got a few more followers. Same voice, though. She has the same voice I have and expresses herself with these posts, which is no different than this post. And I'm sure she'll have her responses, but unfortunately, their response isn't like, I've had enough. I'm sorry I hurt all of you. And that's what a cult leader does. I've seen another one where these dancers, these sisters, they love one another. They dance together. They have a huge TikTok following, and one gave herself over to this cult. And now they're fractured, and the parents are heartbroken. Hear this. Me, my son, my 10-year-old daughter, we are heartbroken over their mom's actions. The actions are not one of good spirit, emotional alchemy, anything that she teaches, coaches, talks about commitment. Doesn't have commitment. She has commitment to ego, to self, and to her guru. That's what's been demonstrated. That's just a fact. She's just a friend. It's a lie. She says it even in her own posts, my tribe, and they photos of each other. Oh my God, they're like lovers and coming out of the water together with these big phony smiles, like they're conquering the world. They're overcompensating their little penises. That's what it's like. The woman broke constantly has to brag about her orgasms and domination and sadomasochism. And by the way, I want to protect my daughter and my son from this as well, from being exposed to this. Unfortunately, Broke's children are exposed to it because she pontificates and puts these posts out talking about, the sexual freedom and all of this, orgasms. Come on, mamas, follow me, and all that mamas and all this. This is what she does. She manipulated this beautiful, beautiful mother. I remember one of the best days of my life. This is a strange one, but it just comes up to my mind. We went to birth class, and she has a lot of friends from this birth class, friends who I really respect and love. I probably said this in one of the episodes. I'll say it anyway. I pulled up. I'll never forget the feeling I had of what a good person I am. This is not a braggy way or ego way. It's just, I just felt great because she pulled up. They all had a smile on their face, like, oh, here's the guy that's cooking for her. Newborn baby was there for the birth, helped out with the whole water birth, which is not my jam, but I made it my jam. I learned and I got in there and helped pull him out and everything, both children, but he was difficult, our son. And what do you want? What can I make for you? Anything I can do to be of service to this family. And I have done that, sacrificed and just worked really hard and kept us in a lifestyle and so on. And to be slapped in the face by going to a stranger and doing these businesses without showing me the respect of showing me a business plan, taking money, thousands and thousands of dollars away from me and just claiming that it's yours, it's half yours, that you're entitled to it. This entitlement that exists in our planet right now is just out of hand. The lack of accountability, it's out of hand. She doesn't have accountability. And that's what happens when people get sucked into some ego maniacal person who is affirming you. And guess what? Someone told me I've all these letters from other people. They said, if she stopped having transactions with her, that would be the end of their alleged friendship and partnership and the tribe and all that. Be the end of it. She's not serving the master anymore. She serves a master. And it's disgusting to watch. That woman, and you're going to hear in the episodes, I'm going to go all over the place with my emotions. And I don't want to do a spiritual bypass. I don't want to do a bypass on this.